If you love burrito bowls, tacos, or nachos, then you're gonna love using sofritas in all of them. Let's make my epic, spicy, and oh so delicious Chipotle copycat sofritas. So, the first step to making your sofritas is to grab yourself a block of extra firm tofu and press it in a tofu press. If you don't have a tofu press, I have some instructions below on how you can rig your own tofu press with a few easy household items. So here I have my tofu pressing. Now it is extra firm tofu, so it's not gonna press out a ton of extra liquid because it's already been pressed pretty firmly, but there is still some in there that you're gonna wanna try and get rid of if you can. Next up, we're going to create the sofritas sauce that we're going to be cooking the tofu in. So I have a few ingredients here that I'll have pop up on the screen with all of their measurements. So I'm just gonna show you what I'm adding into the blender here because we're gonna blitz it all up until it's this delicious, spicy, sweet mixture that's gonna taste hopefully just like the sofritas at Chipotle. Here I have 2 chipotle peppers in adobo sauce. Now I'm just gonna pop these in the blender. I also included 1 tablespoon of the adobo sauce that comes with the chipotle peppers. You can find these canned in your grocery store. They're pretty widely available everywhere from what I have found, so they should be in the Mexican foods aisle of your grocery store that you shop at. If not, you can probably get them on Amazon. Next, we have 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. This is gonna add a nice acidity and creaminess and that nice tomato sauciness that is in the sofritas recipe at Chipotle. Next up is a tablespoon of maple syrup. This is just gonna add a nice subtle sweetness. What I like about this is that you don't have to add any cane sugar to the recipe to add extra sweetness. If you don't want to use maple syrup though, however, you can definitely use date syrup, which I already have a recipe on my channel right here. If you want to check it out, it's a great no sugar alternative if you are doing no sugar diet. Next, I have a variety of spices here. They're up on the screen. We've got cumin, smoked paprika, chili powder, oregano, and some salt. Just gonna pop that in there. Now, the recipe also calls for half a cup of vegetable broth, but I don't actually have any cartons of vegetable broth on hand, so I'm just kind of hacking it by using half a cup of water and about 1/3 of a vegetable bouillon cube. So I'm just gonna pop that in there. It'll blend up, no problem, and I don't anticipate there'll be any chunks left. So that hopefully is a good hack for this situation. And we're gonna add in some fresh lime juice. About 2 tablespoons is all you need, which is about half of a large lime or 1 small lime. My lime here is absolutely freaking enormous, so I'm just gonna use this lime that I have here. Ugh, squeeze. Use your upper body strength if you have any. That was a very attractive pose, I'm sure, that Brad captured very beautifully. So those are all the ingredients for the sauce. Just gonna pop a lid on here and put a lid on it, Bradley, and give her a little blitz. So this looks pretty well blended to me. I'm gonna taste it as well. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Oh, damn! That's got some kick to it. It's good though. Righto, so we're just gonna let this like hang out here for a little while, just let it, you know, coalesce and commingle with itself. And we're gonna head over to my stove and we're going to cook the tofu. So I've got some oil heating in my pan behind me. I'm just heating up on medium-high heat. While that's heating up, I'm actually going to pre-crumble my extra firm tofu into a bowl. So I'm just going to break this into chunks here and just with your hands, it's very simple. Just kind of squeeze and break it off into chunks. Try and get them as small as you can because the texture of sofritas is quite, what's the word I'm looking for, Bradley? It's a small grind, you know, it's kind of almost resembles like ground meat. So try to get it somewhat resembling this. There you go. Okay, so my oil should be pretty hot. I'm just gonna add in the tofu. Ah, yes, that sounds good. And we're gonna add in the garlic and onion that I chopped up. We're using about half of a large white onion. That's all I had on hand, but you can also use a yellow onion or a sweet onion. And I used 4 cloves of garlic. So we're just gonna give this a quick stir here. Combine all of the garlic and the onions together with the tofu. So we're just gonna let this cook covered, and about every 2 or 3 minutes or so I will give it a good stir just to ensure some browning action happens with the tofu and the onions. Righto! So we've been cooking for about, I want to say 10 minutes, and I've been stirring it every few minutes just so you can see like how it's browned, right? That's what we want. It's not going to be all browned, but at least if some of it's got that nice crispiness, it's going to help and add lots of flavor and just gives a little bit more variation to the texture. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this down a little bit now to a kind of a medium low. And I'm going to put in the nice sofrita sauce that we blended up a few minutes ago. So we're just going to pour that in and let it simmer for just a few minutes. Just enough for it to kind of heat through. We don't necessarily want to evaporate much of the liquid that's here because we want it to be quite saucy. So just going to get out as much as we can and let it heat through. Oh, that looks so good. It smells delicious as well. Make sure all of that tofu is coated. So really mix it quite thoroughly. They smell delicious and look amazing. So let's have a little spoonful. They actually really do smell like the chipotle sofritas. Woo! It's got some kick, let me tell you. Woohoo! If you're sensitive to spice, I would say maybe cut the chipotle peppers in adobo in half, so use 1 instead of 2. Oh, but it's so good. I happen to like spicy food, so yes, 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 those are delicious. Definitely try this recipe out. I got the recipe down below for you, so do it. Just do it.